good morning, good morning. Welcome to our Transform Westside Summit. We are officially ready to go, so I'd love if everyone would come on and take your seats, grab a cup of coffee, a great Chick-fil-A breakfast. Thank you for being here this morning. For those I have not had the opportunity to meet, my name is John Ahmann. I'm the president and CEO of the Westside Future Fund. We're very grateful to host this Transform Westside Summit, going on over 10 years now. We're very excited this morning because they actually have as our devotion speaker one of the founders of the Transform Westside Summit, Rodney Bullard. So we'll be hearing more from Rodney in just a moment. But also want to acknowledge that today is Juneteenth, and we are celebrating, right, a very important federal holiday on Juneteenth, that 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was actually issued, to end slavery. 2 years it took for the people of Galveston, Texas to be freed. So the lesson that freedom can take a little bit of time to be delivered, but the injustice, of course, of how long it took for people that once they had been freed to know they had been freed. So we take this day to celebrate and lean into the continuing cause for freedom, and we also want to acknowledge, as part of our work on the West Side, we're very honored to host this Transform Westside Summit on this particular day. And I know personally what I take a lot of inspiration living in Vine City on the West Side is all the history of folks that advanced that cause for freedom. And certainly as we do our work in the historic neighborhoods, of reflecting that living in a disinfected community has its own ways to deny freedom. The freedom of opportunity, the freedom to kind of have a life you want. So we want to take a moment to really celebrate. We have, as part of celebrating Juneteenth Day, we have some snack packs we're putting together. I think they're right over here, right? Yes. Hold your hand. So one of the things we want to do is packing snack bags for the Boys and Girls Club. They have numerous clubs across the West Side. So we'd love for you to be a part of that if you want to help with that. And I also want to just take a moment to recognize any folks that are here to our Transform Westside Summit for the first time. So please, if you are new, raise your hand up. Nothing will happen to you. Please raise your hand. All right. Now, thank you. Thank you for being here. So for those that are here for the first time, I want to acknowledge we are now live on our social media channels. So if you want to share this with any of your friends, but as immediately when this is over, it's actually up on our YouTube channel, but we are broadcasting live, right now. In just a moment, we're going to have an opening devotion led by Rodney Bullard, the CEO of the Same House. And then we're very excited. I know they're getting ready to go. I can see them over right here. We're going to have Music Without Limits, music performance, so we're excited about that. And then I am very grateful. We're going to be hearing from the councilman I know I had the pleasure of voting for, living in Vine City, Councilman District 3. Byron Amos is here this morning. So thank you, and a great update for him, so thanks for being here. We'll have time for question and answer with Byron, and we always close out by 9 o'clock, and we're going to have, at the end of it, we'll have drawings for Home Depot and Goodwill gift certificates. So just a few reminders for folks. We want to make sure you subscribe to our monthly newsletter. So this comes out monthly. Thank you. Our Director of Marketing Communications, Shalon, is here. So if you have ideas about promoting things, we'd love to hear about it. We want to be a great steward. Encourage you, our next slide, to kind of share. We'd love to have people come to our Transform Westside Summit, so please, pass the word of our Transform Westside Summits. And then I think we really appreciate the Home Depot Foundation and the Goodwill for the gift card we'll be giving later today. So I'm going to shift now to set up our devotion. So for those that are new, the devotions are a very, very important part of our Transform Westside Summits. And from our devotions, we always draw inspiration. We draw lessons from the lessons of Nehemiah in the Old Testament, and lessons of Nehemiah, who felt called back to Jerusalem to rebuild the city physically so it would be safe, but the longer journey is building a community based on a set of shared values. And we always take inspiration from Nehemiah, and we always begin these Transform Westside Summits just with a grounding statement. So it's up on the screen, and I'm gonna read it as well. It's become our tradition to begin our meetings with a positive, inspirational message from a member of our community. Recognizing that many in our community are driven by their spiritual faith to participate in the Westside revitalization effort, the time at the beginning of our meetings is an opportunity to share various inspirational reflections. While the speakers may articulate their personal faith, it's meant to be inclusive, inspiring, and meaningful, with the story of Nehemiah, as our guide. And so we're very fortunate to have Rodney about to step up and lead our devotion. Just as a background, it was actually Rodney and Dan and Kathy going back over a decade who thought to bring these Transform Westside Summits. We initially started them at the City of Refuge, and we very much appreciate in early days a lot of those like myself who were new to the West Side and wanted to lean in to help. Obviously, for folks who have been here for a bit, there was a lot of suspicion. What are you really here for? What are you really about? What's your real agenda? And in those early days, a lot of tension, but just kept coming back and kept being consistent. And over time, creating, not that there's always some healthy tension, but a lot more trust in from those early days. So I'm always reflective and appreciative of the gift of these Transform Westside Summits. And so thank you, Rodney, for that. Rodney now leads the Seam House. He has been consistently focused on bridge building, expanding opportunity. The Same House is all about advancing economic mobility and bringing people together across different lines, which is deeply connected with our work here in the West Side. Many of you know, and that's when I first met Rodney, when he led Chick-fil-A's global social responsibility, including community affairs, community engagement, environmental sustainability, and the Chick-fil-A Foundation. Rodney was a founding board member of the Westside Future Fund, so critical to the launch of our organization. And so here on this Juneteenth Day, when we're celebrating the advance of freedom, we especially appreciate, Rodney having, your voice here with us this morning. He is also an author, so he has a wonderful book on heroes and the lessons of what heroes need to advance. So I know you can get still that up on Amazon, so it's a great read. And so when I bring, Rodney up, as Rodney comes up, we're first going to show a video, and then Rodney's going to lean into his devotion, and after that we'll start the rest of our program. So please enjoy the video, and then we'll welcome Rodney up.
We are a few hours out from the beloved benefit. We are at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and we have set an event that really showcases who Atlanta is.
I was born in this city. I choose to live in this city. I love this city.
All of this is in support of a community called the West Side of Atlanta.
We're one people, we're one family, we all live in the same house, the house of Atlanta, Georgia. The aftermath of nonviolence is redemption. The aftermath of nonviolence is the creation of the beloved community.
We have an opportunity in front of us right now to build this beloved community.
With a light in the darkness, with a life in the promise. Oh, the dream is not forgotten.
I'm going to challenge you tonight. We need more than your money. I want your heart.
It only takes a little bit of time to change the direction and the life of a human being.
We have raised $5,039,000.
Guess who's back again? What y'all trying to do?
Good morning, folks. Good morning. Y'all can do better than that. It's Juneteenth. Good morning. Good morning. It is a pleasure to be with you all today. It's an honor to be with you all today. I wanted to show you the first Bullard benefit in 2019. It seems like it was forever ago, and it does, in fact, feel like forever ago, but now we've had 4 Bullard benefits since this. We've raised over $70 million. That's come, you can clap for that, absolutely. That's come back to the community. And to name the same house, as you saw Congressman Lewis said, we're one people, one family. We all belong to the same house, the House of Atlanta, Georgia. And so on this day, it is an honor to be with you all and to remember exactly that. Kashi, you heard me speak a few times. You know I typically do not use notes, but because Reverend Harper is here today, I'm going to make sure I get it right. But I want to talk to you a little bit about Juneteenth, Nehemiah, and Ronald McNair. So we're going to go from Texas to Jerusalem to South Carolina and then back to Atlanta. Is that okay? You going to come with me? Okay. So I want to tell you 3 stories. One takes place in Texas. One takes place in Jerusalem. One takes place in a small public library in South Carolina. And at first glance, they seem unrelated, but they teach the same lesson. A lesson I believe is at the heart of everything this organization, the Westside Future Fund, does. That freedom must be built. Most Americans know June 19, 1865 as the day slavery ended. This was Emancipation Proclamation. But that isn't quite the story. To understand Juneteenth, you have to go back 2.5 years earlier to a president along with a document that was about to change the world. By the summer of 1862, Abraham Lincoln had come to believe that the Union could not survive without confronting slavery itself. He had been resisting pressure from abolitionists for months, moving carefully, waiting for the right moment. Then on July 22nd, 1862, he gathered his cabinet in his cramped White House office and told them he had made his decision, that he was going to, with one proclamation, in a desperate act, he was going to, in fact, free those enslaved, but only those enslaved in Confederate states. It was an interesting conundrum for him. He couldn't free states in Kentucky or Massachusetts or Maryland because he was concerned they would leave the Union. So the Emancipation Proclamation was really only for states that the Union did not control. And so on this day, he also said he wanted to wait for a victory. He wanted to wait for something that allowed for this moment to transpire. And so he waited, and finally on September 17th at a battlefield in Maryland called Antietam. Antietam was the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. 23,000 people died in a matter of 18 hours in Antietam. Literally, Antietam Creek bled red because so many people died. It wasn't actually a Union victory. Union actually had been losing all the battles up until that point, but this was the first time that they didn't lose. And so they called it a victory. And it was enough for Lincoln. And so Lincoln, 5 days later, issued a warning to the Confederate states. Return to the Union by January 1st, 1863, or every enslaved person within your borders will be declared free. Not a single Confederate state complied. So the morning of January 1st, 1863, Lincoln spent hours in the Blue Room, shaking hands with hundreds of citizens at the annual New Year's Day reception. Then he climbed the stairs to his study, and he said this: I never in my life felt more certain that I was doing right than I do in signing this paper. If my name ever goes into history, it will be for this act, and my whole soul is in it. He signed the Emancipation Proclamation with a strong but slightly shaking hand. And then he looked up and smiled and said, that will do. But as momentous as that signature was, freedom could only be enforced where Union authority could reach. Where Union troops advanced, freedom followed. Where Confederate control remained, slavery continued. Nowhere was that reality more stark than in Texas. In Texas, as the war ground on, slaveholders from across the South moved westward into Texas, bringing thousands of enslaved men, women, and children with them. They believed Texas might be slavery's last refuge. So the people most in need of liberation were being moved farther from it, farther from the Union lines, farther from family, farther from any prospect of freedom. You see, I grew up here in Georgia, and in Georgia we didn't celebrate Juneteenth. But my father came to Morehouse College from Houston, Texas. That's right, the house, class of 65. And so my father came to Morehouse, and he brought Juneteenth with him. And we would celebrate Juneteenth, but we were the only ones in the neighborhood. No one understood what we were doing or why we were doing it. But Texans understood, because in April 1865, Lee surrendered at Appomattox, April 9th to be specific, and the Confederacy collapsed. But in Texas, nothing changed. Days became weeks, weeks became months. People still woke before dawn, still worked fields they did not own, still lived under the authority of those who claimed ownership over them. Then came June 19th, 1865. Now, it's important to think about this. April 9th was Appomattox. It was the official surrender of the Confederacy. April 14th was the assassination of Lincoln. And April 15th, a Confederate sympathizer from Tennessee, Andrew Johnson, then became president. But on June 19th, still, the Union was moving forward. And Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston with federal troops and issued the order that would become the foundation of a national holiday. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. All slaves are free. Imagine hearing those words, imagining discovering that your freedom had been legally declared more than 2 years earlier and that no one had told you. Some people wept, some prayed, some stood in stunned silence. Many immediately began searching for family members sold away years before. Parents looking for children, children looking for parents, husbands looking for wives. But what's always moved me most about Juneteenth is not the announcement, it's what came after. Because the announcement was not the end of the struggle, it was barely the beginning. The ink was barely dry on General Granger's order before the system began reassembling itself. Slavery ended, but sharecropping rose in its place. A system designed to keep the same people working the same land, under the same families, bound not now by chains, but by debt they could never repay. Poll taxes and literacy tests were constructed with surgical precision to ensure that the right to vote, theoretically guaranteed, remained practically out of reach. Jim Crow laws carved segregation into the architecture of daily life. Where you could eat, where you could sit, where your children could learn, which library would let you through the door. Frederick Douglass said it plainly. The Civil War had abolished slavery, but it had not yet abolished the spirit of slavery. The proclamation changed the law. It did not change the will of those who had built their world on the subjugation of others. And so the generations that followed Juneteenth did not simply inherit freedom, they had to fight for it. Again and again and again. They fought in courtrooms and on courthouse steps. They fought on buses and at lunch counters. They fought with their feet on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They fought with their voices, their bodies, and their lives. What Juneteenth teaches us is not that freedom was declared and received. It teaches us that freedom was declared and then had to be built, defended, and rebuilt by every generation that came after. The newly freed understood this from the start. They did not spend the next generation simply celebrating. Even in the midst of violence and legal terror, they built churches, they built schools, they purchased land, they started businesses like Black Wall Street. They founded institutions, they created communities from the ground up, understanding that the only protection against a system that wanted to take everything was to build something no one could easily take away. Nearly 2,500 years before Juneteenth, another people faced the same question. The people of Israel had returned from exile in Babylon. Jerusalem was theirs again. They were free. But when the leader Nehemiah received word from the city, the report broke his heart. The walls of Jerusalem, their home, were still in rubble. The gates were still ash. The people had come home, but home itself was broken. The announcement of freedom was just the beginning. The walls of freedom were still rubble. And Nehemiah understood something we often miss. Liberation is an event, but restoration is a process. Before he said a word publicly, Nehemiah did something I find remarkable. He went out at night quietly alone and rode through the ruined streets. He looked at the broken gates. He surveyed the collapsed walls. He made himself see the full reality of the damage before he asked anyone else to face it. Only then did he gather the people. Let us rise up and build, he said. What followed is recorded in the 3rd chapter of Nehemiah. And as we spend time in chapter 3, it is essentially a list of names. At first glance, it looks like a roster, almost tedious, name after name after name. But look closer and you will find one of the most important community development documents ever written. No expert builders or carpenters were named among those who rebuilt the walls. Instead, they were priests, goldsmiths, perfume makers, and merchants. No professionals, everyday people. From the high priest to various business guilds to town communities to families, roughly 40 different groups divided the wall into sections and went to work. Nehemiah assigned people according to their skills and according to where they live. The text even records that one man named Shalom built his section alongside his daughters. They were not waiting for expertise. They were not waiting for a government program. Critics mocked them. Opponents threatened them, but they kept building. The wall was completed in 52 days, not because one leader rebuilt it, not because one donor rebuilt it, but because an entire community got up early on a Friday morning, came to the gathering spot, and decided they were going to take their part of the wall. Yeah. The wall wasn't a destination, it made the destination possible. And so we've gone from Texas to Jerusalem. We got one more place on our itinerary. I want to take you to Lake City, South Carolina, 1959. A young man by the name of Ronald E. McNair, 9 years old, in Lake City, South Carolina. You can imagine Lake City, South Carolina in 1959, the segregated South. Ronald E. McNair was precocious and extremely bright. He had read all the books in the library on his side of town. There was no more to do there, but he was told, Dallas, that there was a library on the other side of town that might have new and better books. So he got on his bike and he rode to the other side of town. And then he walks into this library and he says, "Can I check out books?" And they looked at him and they said, "Son, no, these books that you have gathered, they're not for you. You are not of the right color and this is not your library." Ronald McNair then said, "No, I want these books." 9 years old, remember. And he said, "I'm going to check these books out." The librarian looked at him and then she said, "Son, I'm going to call the police." And she called the police on little 9-year-old Ronald E. McNair. The police responded and they got there. When they came, they looked at this 9-year-old boy and they said, "You know what? I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up to arrest 9-year-old children." And they convinced the librarian to allow Ronald E. McNair to have those books. That 9-year-old boy went on to get a PhD at MIT, That 9-year-old boy ended up being the second African American to travel to space. That 9-year-old boy has a high school that is named after him in Decatur, Georgia, where I grew up. That 9-year-old boy now has a library, that very same library in Lake City, South Carolina, is named after him. I tell you that story because at the end of the day, we know that freedom has been proclaimed. But we can walk around neighborhoods like the Westside and know that there is work to be done. Oftentimes we say that work might be someone else's work. That's the work of the Westside Future Fund. That's the work of Chick-fil-A, Arthur Blank. We're waiting for someone else. But this group knows, just like 9-year-old Ronald E. McNair understood, that that's the work of each one of us, personally, that that's the work for us to rebuild the wall. For us now, rebuilding the wall looks like workforce development. It looks like affordable housing. It looks like ensuring that we have a safe community to live in. It looks like the West Side that we want and aspire towards. At the end of the day, freedom has been announced, but freedom must be built. And I'm so very glad to stand shoulder to shoulder with you as we build this wall. God bless.
Thank you, man.
All right, Rodney, the people have spoken, so great job. Thank you. I was reflecting in Rodney's remarks on the phrase, freedom had to be built. Freedom had to be built. And as we think about the Juneteenth day, as I think about freedom had to be built, I think nearly all of us would work hard to build freedom for ourselves. To build freedom for ourselves. But I think part of the lessons that we heard in the stories that Rodney told this morning is, as I build freedom, do I also build it for the other? Do I build freedom for the other and lean into the other and not just for myself? Which often takes courage, takes resilience, and takes vision. So thank you again for reminding us of that this morning, Rodney. And as we turn now to the next part of our program, I'm really excited, good morning, to see, and we know this is going to steal the show, so I'm excited for this, to welcome Music Without Limits, a special celebratory performance. So thank you all for being here this morning. So Music Without Limits is an Atlanta-based youth development and music immersion program founded by Broderick Thompson Smith. We're proud to say a home on the Westside homeowner, a multi-platinum music producer, songwriter, entrepreneur, and youth advocate, and I know an early morning walker as well, because I see him out often. Broderick's work has impacted both the music industry and communities across the country, and through Music Without Limits, he has dedicated his career to helping young people discover the power of their voices. Founded in 2011, Music Without Limits uses songwriting, music production, recording, performance, and creative expression to help youth build confidence, emotional intelligence, leadership skills, and career pathways in the entertainment industry. So as we celebrate Juneteenth and reflect on the freedom and resilience it represents, we are delighted to hear that voice this morning. And so I'm very excited to welcome up Destiny Motley, who's the program manager of Music Without Limits, and she's going to take us from here. So welcome up Destiny with a big round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yes. My name is Destiny Motley, and I serve as the instructional writer and program manager for MWL. As the instructional writer for the program, I help develop the curriculum, lesson plans, and educational content that guide our young people through their creative and personal development journey. My role is to ensure that every activity, workshop, and music project teaches valuable life skills alongside artistic expression. Through our curriculum, we help young men and women understand communication, emotional awareness, conflict resolution, self-expression, and the importance of taking responsibility for the words they speak and the messages they create. It is my privilege to work alongside an extraordinary leader, Mr. Broderick Thompson Smith, founder and executive director of MWL. Mr. Smith is a multi-platinum producer, songwriter, entrepreneur, and community advocate who transformed his success in the music industry into a mission of service. His vision for MWL was to create more than a music program. He wanted to create a safe space where young people could discover their voice, develop confidence, learn emotional maturity, and transform their creativity into opportunity. So without further ado, guys, here's our first act, Carter and Nalani with the Summer Camp song. So I hope y'all enjoy this performance.
We on the block, yeah, ducking on the ops, sipping on Calypso, 38 high.
Tryna find something to do, hit up my partner like, what up, twin? Let's hack and what the business is.
On the block, yeah, ducking on the ops, sipping on Calypso, 38 high.
Tryna find something to do, hit up my partner like, what up, twin? Let's hack and what the business is.
On the Westside, doing what, just kicking it.
Yeah, let's do it, come through, let's kick it in.
So I'ma come through, yeah, we can kick it swing.
Max on deck, Bluetooth set, hit the root check, tryna see what's there. I ain't tryna shit chat, cut past the gossip. Just me and my partner, get it poppin' like a chop. Got a bad little started, how about you? This is invite only, no you can't just come and pop up. Catch the wrong vibe, yeah, it might just mess the salsa. On clock, then on lock, then yeah, I'm bossed up. White girls love me when they see me, shit, I'm awesome. Catch the wrong vibe, yeah, it might just mess the salsa. On clock, then on lock, then yeah, I'm bossed up. White girls love me when they see me, shit, I'm awesome.
We on the block, yeah, ducking on the ops, sipping on Calypso, 38 high.
Tryna find something to do, hit up my partner like, what up, kid? Westside know what the business is.
On the Westside and doing much, just kicking it.
Bet, let's do it, come through, let's kick it in.
So I'ma come through, yeah, we can kick it swing. If the song be yeah, I'm just trying to make some money from my come up, yeah. So when I link with my friends, all we wanna do is turn up. Your drama, all your problems don't concern us. Nah, we just trying to get it hotter than a furnace. That's all. At home, throwing money in the air. Let's ball. Cut the cheese, extra clean, ready, huddle with the team to celebrate life all night. That's fresh, vanilla sweet. I'm lit. That's like make a TikTok post, hashtag outside. Looking at my watch, it's about that song. I'm on 92 with that Westside rhyme. We be on the block, yeah, ducking on the ops, sipping on Calypso, 38 high.
Tryna find something to do, hit up my partner like, what up, twin? Westside know what the business is.
On the Westside and doing much, just kicking it.
Bet, let's do it, come through, let's kick it in.
So I'ma come through, yeah, we can kick it swing. It's the summer, yeah. I'm just trying to make some money from a come up, yeah. So when I link with my friends, all we wanna do is turn up, turn up,
turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Yo, man, MWL.
So listen, I've been sitting around campus and sometimes I'll be like, that girl need to be by my side. So, I've been thinking, you could probably give me some time just for me and you. Of course, if that's cool with you. What I gotta say and make you want me, slide me a number, don't wanna be lonely. Don't wanna be lonely. Don't wanna be lonely.
You look right to me, that's my type to me. You look right to me, that's my type to me. When we first met, we used to have good times together. My heart up in a box, you gotta dig it with each other. It gives me a better feeling if we can move on together. Get it for your heart, I ain't in it just for pleasure. You like that, don't you fight back. When you play some missile, make me wanna
say to make you want me. Slide me a number, don't wanna be lonely. Don't wanna be lonely. Don't wanna be lonely.
You look right to me, that's my type to me. You look right to me, that's my type to me.
When we first met, we had good times. We used to play, we used to play, we used to play, we used to play, we used to play.
NWL. Yo, man, NWL. Yo, man, NWL.
On me, the sun, the moon is gonna be on me, on me, on me. The sun, the moon is gonna be on me. The lip upon my feet is gonna guide me. To everywhere I'm supposed to be, supposed to be. To everywhere I'm supposed to be. Gotta stay focused in, hoping in what I know within. That voice that speaks to me, hear but I can't see, yet still when they say, I like the sunlight maybe any day. Now that I know that I gotta stay. Believe me, no it ain't easy. I close my eyes, I move with the rhythm of the spotlight, spotlight. Put it all in me, put it all in me. I like the spotlight any day. Now that I know that I gotta stay. Believe me, no it ain't easy. I know it ain't easy. I like to shine my way. I like the spotlight any day. Now that I know that I gotta stay. Believe me, no it ain't easy.
Well, y'all want to give it up for one more time? I have to say, it's intimidating to come back up here after the, but happy to be back. You know, that was amazing. So thank y'all for providing that this morning to Broderick and Destiny. And they're all doing their photos. So we're now shifting our program to our conversation with Byron Amos. I think we're going to bring up a couple chairs for, so we can, yes, we are going to bring up a couple chairs. So thank you. So Councilman Byron Amos, I first met Byron when he got elected to the Atlanta School Board, right? Going way back. And he's a proud son, grew up in Vine City. The Booker T. Washington High School graduate, right? So Byron's been about the West Side for his entire life. And so as we think about building freedom on Juneteenth Day, I'm really honored, Byron, that you would join us today. And so as the District 3 representative, there are 15 members, for those that don't follow it deeply, there are 15 members of the Atlanta City Council. So anything that the mayor might want to do, like approve a budget, change zoning, the different policies need to be approved by a majority of those 15. So there are 3 that are at large, and then the other 12 represent different districts. So Byron, it's a lot going on at Atlanta City Council right now, right? Especially the mayor of our city has really focused in on his second term, something called a neighborhood reinvestment initiative, where the mayor really wants to lean in, and council, and Byron is among one of those leaders, to really address some of the long underserved communities on the west side and southeast Atlanta as well. So let's welcome Byron. We're going to do a little Q&A, and then we'll open up the audience as well. Come on up, and thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
So maybe folks that don't know it well, maybe just tell a little bit, folks, about your own little, personal story on the West Side a little bit, and then maybe also your why. Like why did you decide to, move into leadership roles that you do?
Well, before we go there, let's first and foremost give it up for the gathering spot.
Yep.
This place has become a home for so many people, but we forget it's still a small business, it's still minority owned, and it's still in City Council District 3. So let's give it up for them. And then, of course, not only to you, John, but to your team and to your partners of the Westside Future Fund that makes you look good. They make you look good. Give it up to them as well. Thank you for that. So, Byron Amos, Atlanta City Council District 3, born and raised, still live in the same house my mama brought me home to 53 years ago in Vine City. The why, I tell people I was blessed with the curse to serve. I was SGA president at Bethune Elementary, which is now closed. I was SGA president at Kennedy Middle School, which is now closed, but opened back up as the Great Hollis Innovation Academy. Yep, they would give it up for Hollis. And I was SGA vice president at the Booker T. Washington High School. So doing that, NP Neighborhood Leadership, Vine City Civic Association, NPUL chair, went on the school board, and now proud and pleased to serve on the Atlanta City Council. And here's my truths. I love my city, but I realize we are a city of two tales. So everything that they want on Peachtree, everything we want on Peachtree and Piedmont, I want the same thing on Boone and Hollowell. It's that simple. It's that simple for me. So understanding that when we as children used to talk about the other side of town, being able to concentrate that conversation on our side of town is why.
No, thank you. And given your long arc on the West Side, maybe talk a little bit about, do you have, given the moment we're in and where we're going, do you have optimism? And then maybe share, within that, what do you see as you reflect on what you see the next, few years to look like?
Well, understanding that I, as a leader, have to do just that, lead. Understanding that every day we on the West Side have two opportunities. That's a chance and a choice. And the choice you make leads to the next chance that you get to make a different choice. So understanding that, and also one of my campaign slogans was, I must be informational, I must be inspirational, but then I must be motivational. I must give you the right information. That information must inspire you. But if I don't motivate you to get up and do something about it, the information is no good. So I'm very optimistic about what we have on the West Side because we have been doing it for a long time. We have had a lot of promises broken to us. We have been through a lot of programs. You talk about when you met Rodney. I actually met Rodney when he was part of the U.S. Attorney's Office. Was it Weed and Seed, the Project Safe Neighborhood, one of them. But we had the program that Carter had. We had empowerment zones. We had Project Safe Neighborhoods. We had Weed and Seed. We had every program thrown at us on the West Side. But we have not stopped to learn what happened with those programs, and I think that is to where we are now, to where the community is beginning to realize that we have to do something different with our people before we can do something different with our dirt. Thank you. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I supported the TAD extension and I supported the Neighborhood Reinvestment Act. Because the truth is, everyone said it right, TADs were not designed to help people. They're not designed to do that. They're designed to build buildings. But we finally figured out that we need that neighborhood reinvestment piece to help the people. Vine City Health and Housing Ministries, one of our former community development corporations, had started by the great W.L. Cottrell, had a slogan, building housing for people, but building people for housing as well. And I think that is where we are on the West Side, to where we are beginning to realize all of the tools that we have. But more importantly, we're beginning to realize our biggest tool are the resiliency of our neighbors and my friends and everyone I've grown up with.
No, thank you. And one of the things, that you mentioned, and for folks that aren't deeply familiar, the Neighborhood Reinvestment Initiative, the NRI, the mayor, passed out of City Council just last week. I think 13-2, right? Mm-hmm. 13 yes, 2 opposed. And for folks that aren't deeply familiar to it, maybe reflect on what you think it really means for the West Side, what it means for District 3. So as you think about what people can expect to come from this, what would be some of the things that you would highlight?
So it's ironic because my first answer really would be one of those political answers, or it could mean the world to us. But we have to dig deeper than that. This is going to mean what we make it mean. And it starts with me realizing that we have a lot of work to do. This is not the silver bullet. It just looked like a silver bullet. So we have to dig in, and we're already planning meetings. I have a neighborhood leadership council in which I have already sent an email to say, what is your legacy project? What will it look like on the ground level to leave something behind for the community? So we're going to incorporate that in the plan. So like I said, part about being a leader is actually leading. We're going to go out, and by the time the mayor circles back around to talk about our redevelopment plans, to talk about our neighborhood reinvestment initiatives, I will already have it laid out. These are the wishes and the plans of the people of City Council District 3. You don't have to look no further. So we have a lot of work to do, and we have to do it together, because this is really an all-hands-on-deck type moment. It is time for all of our businesses to work together. It is time for our clergy to come together. It's time for our developers to work together. But more importantly, it is all of those that are mentioned. It is time for the grandmothers on the porch. It is time for the ones that are keeping the babies in the homes because people have to go to work. It is time for us to identify all of the issues that we know we have. Don't dwell on the issues, but finally let's start talking about the real solutions that will help the people on the ground.
No, thank you. So I was just curious. So we know we have in this room is full of champions for the West Side, and as to your point, we got to really lean into it. What do you think some of the things for folks that are here to support, you to make sure we take all advantage that we can? Like what would you coach people to do?
Well, and that's why I was excited when you asked me to participate today, because this room is full of people that's going to hold me accountable. Let's start there. That's the first piece. I'm looking at faces now, and many of you have been in my email, my phone calls, and things of that nature. So that's the first piece, making sure that we at City Hall is being held accountable. And then I wanted to come here and say that to you publicly, hold me accountable. So that's the first piece. Then you're also going to help me as well. And that's because I know a lot of people probably typing text right now with this is what we need to do. I got a program that can do this. So that is the type of things I need you to be present in this moment. Yes, we got a long way to go. Yes, there are a lot of difficult decisions that we have to make together. I may be the one voted on city council, but trust me, we are making these decisions together. And then when I don't make the decision that some of you may agree with, I know I'm going to hear from you. And that's still sharpening steel. So just stay present in the moment. Hold me accountable, hold our elected officials accountable, and then tell me when I'm doing something wrong. You can be as public as you want to be. The only thing I ask is be right, be factual when you're saying we're doing something wrong.
No, thank you. One of the things I learned as part of the Neighborhood Reinvestment Initiative, we sit in English Avenue, Vine City, and part of Western Downtown in the Westside Tax Allocation District. So that was first established in 1998. It's good until 2038, and if the extension goes through, it'll be all the way to 2056.
Yes.
And so now there's a lot of increment building up, and to your earlier point, it must be used for capital projects. And those could be infrastructure, et cetera. But one thing we know, there's a lot more increment now in the Westside TAD than there has ever been. Mm-hmm. And there's more increment available for English Avenue, Vine City than there has ever been. And as from your perspective, as folks think about how to build project lists, do other things, like how you as council, because I know council has some very specific ways that they wanted to weigh in as the West Side, especially on the West Side tab, looking to spend those dollars, the process that people should expect to see on how those dollars will be allocated.
So, we're talking about TAS, and my perspective is a lot different than some of my colleagues, because I have been in the West Side TAS since the creation, since we extended it. Vine City English Avenue has been a TAD at the end of this extension probably for about, 55 years. That's a lifetime for a lot of my friends. So what have we done in that time span to do something different? I have been in many conversations with my friends and neighbors in Washington Park, because the West Side TAD stops at Lowry. It is very difficult to spend most of my days at Mr. Everything on the south side of ML King, because the TAD stops at ML King. So the way I'm envisioning working the TAS now, and this is when I get in trouble, because along with all the affordable housing that we're building, we need some market rate housing as well, because we need to begin to balance out what is taking place on the West Side. But how do we utilize the funds in the TAD to deal with infrastructure? And the reason infrastructure is so important to me and the rest of my district, because as we flood in Vine City English Avenue, we flood in Dixie Hills and Hunter Hills as well. If we can fix the infrastructure upstream, that'll lessen the burden on the infrastructure downstream. So how do we utilize TAD dollars that we can't spend outside of TADs to actually benefit other communities? That's one way. How do we create that investment in which, if we have successful business corridors coming out of the West Side TAD, going deeper into the West Side, that we have other businesses begin to look at that and say, hey, if they did it up the street, we can do it down the street. So that's how we began to utilize TAD dollars outside of the TAD that we can't spend because of a geographical boundary.
Yeah, no, thank you. What we're and I just want to say we really appreciate your leadership on behalf of the Westside Future Fund. Over the last decade, we're very, privileged to lead a lot of philanthropic and low-cost investment over the last decade, close to $200 million. And what we want to do is use our philanthropic dollars to help people, put people into homes, to help people have high-quality rental. We want to put our philanthropy into programming, and other things that benefit the community. Especially, we want to put our philanthropy into things that TAD dollars can't do. One of the challenges we faced when there wasn't as much TAD dollars available is that not only were we subsidized housing, we were also subsidizing the sidewalks and the streets as part of the rebuild, which now we're at a moment, because now, and I appreciate what you said, because if the West Side TAD leans more into the infrastructure from a West Side Future Fund perspective, we can use more of our philanthropic dollars to do many things you just said. And I'm looking around the room, and I know those TAD dollars, we finally got rid of a very blighted home right next to Destiny, and so there's unfortunately more blight. I'm looking at some of the other long-term folks that have talked about long-term flooding issues and infrastructure issues, right, that must be addressed. So we're at a moment that those TAD dollars can really be put to work addressing some of these long-standing, unaddressed, infrastructure issues. So thank you for bringing that up. And then, and I'll ask my last question and turn for Q&A for the audience. And I'm very happy I see our board chair here, T. Dallas Smith, so thank you, Dallas, for being here this morning. And one of the things that Dallas constantly reminds us, constantly reminds the board of the Westside Future Fund, constantly reminds the team, as growing up in Hunting Hills, that Dallas remembers a much more vibrant, mixed income West Side and the frame of restoration, and the frame of coming back to something that was a wonderful community as part of that restoration. And the key corridor we know is that Donnelly-Howe corridor, and we think about that Donnelly-Howe corridor from that, unfortunately, that bridge that needs to be fixed, all the way, I guess, down to through Grove Park, where Microsoft at one point was planning, and Dallas was a big part of that. So as you think about that whole Donnelly-Howe corridor and all that's happening, maybe share with folks what you would like to see happen, what you imagining happening along that corridor.
Well, I'm very quickly hitting on a couple of things. That bridge should have been down, and for many of you that don't know, Bankhead, Donnelly-Hollowell used to go across Northside Drive, cross that beautiful bridge structure, and dump off into Marietta Street. Doesn't exist no more, but the bridge is still there. That bridge should have been down. What have taken it so long is that we had to get permission from the railroads to remove that bridge. And the railroads, as well as the power companies, and I know I got some big utilities in this room, trust me, they're like titans that you don't want to fight, that is impossible to fight. But so we had to wait for them to literally give us permission to pay one of their people to sit there and watch us do the work. So it has taken years to do that. Then, their freight season is different than airline season. So it was just, and that's one of the reasons why that bridge at Marietta and West Marietta hasn't been replaced yet either, over in the Howell Station community. I know that's a sore spot as well. But so we're working on that. But as we go down Donnelly-Hollowell, there has been a lot of change from Echo Street, Westside Motor Lounge, going all the way down. You got Good Samaritan there. We have an opportunity, in my opinion, to develop everything from, if you just picture in your mind, from that land right there at Joseph B. Boone, Azalea Gardens, in which we authorized the mayor to begin the eminent domain on a couple of months ago. And then we got the Valley of the Hawks, and then that comes up into the 1060 Donnelly-Hollowell property, in which we all know been in the news with the Atlanta Mission and the selling of that. But we have an opportunity to develop all of that. Then you have the transit-oriented development that Marty is doing around the Bankhead Station there. You have what the Beltline is doing with the old Chapel Forest property. Then you still have the Microsoft property as well. So there's an opportunity that we can really develop everything we need, from affordable housing to market rate housing, bringing in the different coffee shops, bringing in, once again, like I say, everything on the other side of town. We have an opportunity to develop it right here on our side of town as well, and we have to seize that moment. But going on down Donnelly-Hollowell, you hit Grove Park, and they're doing wonderful things out there. I think I seen the chairman of the foundation out here, there is in back there, Gavin. So we have one, and Grove Park is doing what they're doing. They have a wonderful school down there with Kip. Moving on down, we finally got Bankhead Seafood back online. We got the Great Paradise Church, Reverend Harper. So we have leaders. And then we have Center Hill Park, in which I know lead CJ and Kelly Stewart is coming into, trying to do some things. But here's the other part. Everything beyond the police station there, down to Donnelly-Hollowell or Hightower, depends on how long you've been here. That part has just came into District 3. It used to be in District 9. And, I done spent, all of us got a pass. I done spent many of the nights at Club Crucial. I done spent many of the nights at Silver Fox. But it is time to do something different with that part of Donnelly-Hollowell. Period. It is land that can be used. I mean, you can only change so many years of oil in one location. But if you look at everything from, like I say, the police precinct going west to Donnelly-Hollowell, on to Hightower, H.E. Homes, it is time to reimagine that. And as we begin to bring Boyd Homes back online, so there's a lot of movement that needs to take place, that is taking place, but the number one goal is to, first and foremost, in my opinion, take care of the people, take care of the legacy residents. I'm soon becoming one in age as well as one in stature as well. But we must start there. But I constantly say all the time, in order to change the condition of my district, we must change the condition of the district. So.
Yeah, no, thank you. So it's a great kind of segue. We'd love to have some questions from the audience, and if you'll raise your hand, we'll have someone from our team bring you a mic. As part of our coaching, when you ask a question, make sure you hold the mic close to your mouth so it can pick up your question. So, yes, sir.
First of all, I want to say thank you, Byron, for being reactive and being proactive instead of reactive. Most of the things, as you said, that you were going to do, you are already doing. You've already engaged the clergy community and many other communities. My question is this: with the Perry Bolton TAD not being funded anymore, what opportunities will there be? We are in the Paradise Center is in the, we have many programs and we're rehabbing and providing housing in the community. What other opportunities will be available after those TAD dollars are exhausted? And we are seeking those TAD dollars. So when the Perry Bolton TAD is no longer, what other options will there be?
And that is one of the things that we have to be intentional about, to understand that those things ultimately will come to an end. So we have to be intentional about what we're doing with it. And to help answer your question, one of the TADs we did not extend was the Beltline TAD, because everyone felt as if it has done its job. The Beltline TAD has done its jobs in other parts of the city, not the West Side. So I'm wholeheartedly in favor of extending the Beltline TAD, because I think we need the opportunity to enjoy the advantages that it brought. So, but that's another story. But to be intentional, to understand those things coming to an end, and also to create a community to when those tasks do come to an end, then those resources that you're looking to fund may no longer be needed. I really think social services should be working to put themselves out of business.
I know that's right.
If that makes sense. So, thank you.
Byron, my question is more of a personal nature. As a pastor, we've been taught to love the sheep, even love the smell of sheep. My question to you is, how did you feel when the seat opened in the beginning and you were rejected by the neighborhood that you had fought so many years for? Instead of being the logical choice, you were not elected the first time. So how did you feel about yourself and about the sheep?
I took a couple of hours to reflect, and then I realized there was more work to be done. And that's all it is, just misinformation. Politics is a game of choice. We ask you to make a decision, and we give you the information to make that decision. So unfortunately, I did not give the right information to the right number of people to make the right decision that was right for me, of course. But the second time around, more praying, more working, more knocking on doors, more encouraging people, we got to where we are now. So it's really a moment of self-reflection to sit back and say, not what the people did wrong, what did you do wrong, to make sure that the outcome was what you desire. So, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question. Hey, thank you, Brian Amos, for being here. Adrena Marie, 26 years of the Westside Advocate. I actually was with you when you first got elected over here in our community, so we really do appreciate the transparency. Right now, I think the issue for me is that we have a lot of our elders houses have been put in a portfolio with the mayor's office. And when they came in to do this redistricting and rebeautification of our community, most of these elders have lost their home. We are not talking about it. The issue is being brushed up under the rug. Mr. Amos, I know you do a lot door to door with our elders and been very transparent of walking with them and communicating on these different transitionings. But we have a lot of our elders are homeless. So the problem that I'm having is that we don't have a safety and security measurement put in place for these type of transitioning for our elders. What is the next type of communication that you can bring to the community where we can be enlightened on making sure that we get them the proper information that they need so they won't be put on the streets, and with the mayor's office being involved with this situation? John, you have done an awesome job with what you're doing here, but we definitely need to have a lot more collectives that are here standing by in the forefront for these elders that are really going through some transition. So can you enlighten me on maybe some ways that we can kind of come together and, our politicians and community can start accepting our elder situation and really taking it serious? Thank you.
And thank you for that. And you and I, starting today, can start working on that. And everyone else in the room, because like I told you about information. So we actually, taking leadership from the Westside Future Fund, increased the fund amount of money to pay our senior citizens increases in their taxes. So that was one thing the city has started to do. But then the information is the other piece, because if you go back and think about it, we passed the blight tax a couple of years ago. One of the things, of course, we still needed to do some things on the city side, but the biggest holdup for the blight tax was that our tax commissioner, which is a Fulton County officer, refused to sign the MOU. So we had to bring it back in-house to figure out how we could do that process ourselves. So at that point, he is an elected official. That's the information. And next time it rolled around, remember Arthur Ferdinand is willing to sell the taxes of our senior citizens on the courthouse step, but will not sign off on the blight tax to get some of the blight out the neighborhood. So that's another thing. In my first year in office, we sent a resolution over to Fulton County asking the tax commissioners to stop selling sanitation fees of our senior citizens. We have enough programs, I believe, and we don't have enough. We have several programs and several subsidies to buy down the taxes of our senior citizens. But it is that $400 tax fee that they get at the end of the year that Arthur Ferdinand treats as a tax. By February, he's selling that on the courthouse step. The speculators bid it up so much to even that year that we have to get that tax back, we can't do it. So that is the information to understand. It's not only the city of Atlanta, it's Fulton County as well that is allowing these processes to take place. One of the things we was able to do in this year's budget is to put more money in the public defender's office. Why is that important? We actually have speculators that are actually calling code enforcement on our senior citizens. And by law, we have to go out and inspect. It may be a shed that they kept their lawnmower in for the last 50 years that they've been there, but it's falling apart, it's dilapidated. So we have to write the citation. When they go to court, now our public defender's office have the funds to be able to say, we'll take that shed down. So it's more opportunities like that. One of the biggest programs we're developing out of the office, in which I'm actually going to roll out through my ministerial alliance, is a volunteer program. If we can get our deacons, if we can get our young men, our fraternities, our people that, if we have these small violations that we're able to take care of ourselves, then we should have enough volunteers in the district to go out and say, we're going to do this. And I will find some money in my budget some kind of way to at least fund the first beginning of it. But I think it's enough time for us, as we talk about as a village, to really begin to do it ourselves. And then the other piece about the NRI, when that legislation is signed off by the mayor, there are millions of dollars that will instantly be transferred to nonprofits operating inside of this city. Only thing I ask for you to do your job. That's the only thing I ask. If you say you're going to be in our neighborhoods taking care of our senior citizens, be in our neighborhoods taking care of our senior citizens. When I was on the school board and we realized there was 232 organizations operating inside of APS to deal with the dropout rate and the graduation rate. And both of them was going in the wrong direction. 232 organizations. So if we need to do this NRI thing and take some of that money back from these people we just gave it to, that's what we need to do, period. So.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, Byron. Naomi Green, Howell Station. I'm EMB. I want to see all the things that you're talking about happening here on the west side. But what's our role as neighbors to make sure that the neighbors, I'm a new resident of the west side, what's our role to make sure that the current legacy neighbors who have been here for years before can stay in their homes? How can we participate in that? How can we make sure that the houses that are built are not the $600,000 condos that are coming up on Bankhead Highway, and that it's an affordable opportunity for the folks who have been here long before all of us?
Well, before I answer that question, let me answer your email. Me and Ms. Green had this email going back and forth that I have not returned, and it was about the data center being built over in West End. And, you know, I got a very tricky past with data centers because I inherited one, a QTS, one of the biggest ones in the state. So at first my thing has always been standing with the community. If the community felt as if they wanted it, then I would look at it. But you asked a very serious question. And the question was, if the community wanted, you guys, we passed the resolution not allowing things in the Beltline overlay and things of that nature. And what does that mean for the rest of the city? And I tell people all the time, I took an oath to be an Atlanta City Council member, but I was voted to take care of the West Side. So to answer your question, I would not be supporting the data center, because if it was just a standalone data center, then I would still be considering it. But because it triggers so many things, because it goes against so many things that we said that we do not want, I would not be supporting that. So that answers your email. The second question is, how do we build houses to ensure that it is not the ones that nobody can afford? And that's actually working through the Westside Future Funds and working through the mayor's initiative, in which we actually started to activate land that we already owned. So now the city and the council, the city, the school board, Atlanta Housing, and all of the other nonprofits that have joined in with us, we control the land. So if we control the land, we control the price. And it's not so much about profits as far as it is about maintaining. So ensure that we're able to control as much land as we can, which is still dangerous because we get some elected officials that are out there. But it's up to the voters to will us back in. But that's one of the easiest things we can do to begin to activate the land that we already own. And then we need to start talking to like-minded people. All of us know different developers. And we know different developers that will come in and build at a price point that will actually serve the community. And then we know some that is just out there for profit. But then there's things that we as elected officials could do. The first thing we can do is stop charging costing Westside Future Fund $30,000, $40,000 because we can't get them out of permitting. Let's just be honest. When developers are having their contractors sitting on the sidelines because they got to go to the first floor, they got to go to the second floor, then they got to email back across town, then they need to get this permit. And that's before we even tore down a house to even begin to prep the site to do the work. So a lot of people have a lot of roles that we can play, but being intentional about how we get projects started, how we get them moving, how we get them finished is some of the key things we can do to maintain these prices.
Well, we've hit, and two things are true. We have more questions, but we also we want to end right about around 9 o'clock. But I know, Sade, you've had your hand up because I've been seeing her looking. So one more question, and then we're quickly going to do the drawings for the gift certificates. But I know maybe people have more questions, but but I know, Sade, you've had your hand up for a bit if you want to ask. But we only have time for one. We're right at time.
But I'm thankful to be here this morning. And I'm just so glad that our gentle giant Rodney Bullard came this morning. I'm thankful for that. And I also am so excited to see my councilman. As always, he knows I'm a great supporter of him. But this is my challenge, and I'm so glad you mentioned people. Because with all the building and development we do, if the people are not affected, we still have a big issue. So, as a new business on Joseph E. Boone, which inside the HBCU Green Fund Hub, Resilient Hub, right there on Boone, the issue that is really concerning is the people, the unhoused people. The people that have so many different mental health, physical health, so many issues, young and old, up and down Joseph E. Boone. And so as Westside Future Fund develops and provides housing and so many other things for the community, if we don't have the people dealt with and their needs met, where do we go from there? Because I'm sitting there, I'm looking to generate great business and provide a service of health and wellness to the community, but I need support. Not only support do I need, but the people are of paramount importance because they're laying around and sitting around. Then we have the great Cook Park right there. And so it's just a really big issue as Westside Future Fund develops and try to support, and they support our community. What do we do? How do we do it? And how do business owners band together and get this issue kind of, I would say resolved, but handled, because it's a big issue.
Right, and thank you for that question and answer very quickly. It's an issue for everyone, and this is when I normally, per se, get in trouble because, first of all, it's people that we haven't seen before. So they had to come from someplace else. So as we clear the encampments downtown, as we clear the encampments around the city, we began to see new faces in our neighborhoods. I'm out there, I'm beginning to see new faces. These are not faces I grew up with. But at the same time, we have to understand that all of the services that they're looking for and or need, the majority of them over here on the west side. So they're beginning to migrate as well. This is why I'm standing firm on stopping some of these services from moving in over there, because equity works both ways. Equity works both ways. Let me say that. But then it's really one of those things, all hands on deck. We got a governor that put 50,000 or something like that. There was 500,000 into mental health services for the state, 500,000, but put $2 billion in the transportation projects. So and then we got a county who has just taken their hands off of mental health altogether. Yes, they are in the diversion center. Yes, they are doing some things, not passing the buck. Mental health is a health issue, which is a county charter issue. So here's an opportunity when all of these people, from school board to city council to Fulton County to council to mayor to state, come knocking on your door, speak of these issues and see how we really can begin to help. Because right now, we have past services in which I utilize out of the office. We have found money in the city budget to actually employ a case manager for in-town cares that is actually out on the west side now, building relationships with some of our unhoused as well. So we have done everything we could possibly do, because the last thing we want to do is call APD. That doesn't serve anybody any justice. So we are working through a lot of things, but it's really one of those things, so all of us got to get together and finally figure out what to do with that population that is unfortunately growing.
No, thank you. And I apologize we couldn't get to everyone, but thank you. We want to wrap up, and we'll let you draw our two gift card winners. So the first one will be, is this the Home Depot? So pick a number, read the number, and somebody will win the Home Depot Foundation gift certificate. And we see some people.
Okay. Reading the last three. 746.
All right.
Reading the last three again. 415.
Amazing morning. Thank you to our devotion speaker. Thank you to Music Without Limits. Thank you to our guest. Thank you for being here. Have a great Juneteenth day. Have a great weekend, and we hope to see you back here in a month.